In the aftermath of World War II, America was a nation brimming with optimism and innovation. But beneath the surface of this golden age, a battle was brewing that would shake the very foundations of the American dream. This is the story of Preston Tucker, a man who dared to challenge the automotive giants of Detroit with a car so revolutionary, it threatened to rewrite the rules of an entire industry. Picture this: a sleek aerodynamic sedan gliding down the streets of 1948. Its single cyclops eye piercing through the fog of conformity. This wasn't just a car, it was a vision of the future, a rolling testament to American ingenuity. But as we'll soon discover, sometimes the future arrives too soon for its own good. Preston Tucker was no ordinary man. A charismatic visionary with a flair for showmanship, he had the audacity to believe he could take on the big three automakers at their own game. His weapon of choice? The Tucker 48, a vehicle so ahead of its time it seemed to have rolled straight out of a science fiction novel. Imagine a car with a rear-mounted engine for better weight distribution, a padded dashboard for improved safety, and disc brakes for superior stopping power. These features are commonplace today, but in the late 1940s, they were nothing short of revolutionary. And let's not forget that mesmerizing central headlight that turned with the steering wheel, illuminating the road ahead like a beacon of progress. As word of Tucker's automotive marvel spread, the public's excitement reached a fever pitch. Thousands flocked to dealerships, eager to place deposits on a car they had only seen in drawings and promotional materials. It seemed that Preston Tucker had tapped into a wellspring of pent-up demand for something truly new in the stagnant post-war auto market. But success breeds jealousy, and innovation often threatens those in power. As the Tucker Corporation gained momentum, dark clouds began to gather on the horizon. The big three automakers of Detroit, General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler watched with growing unease as this upstart threatened their iron grip on the industry. What followed was a campaign of whispers and backroom deals, a concerted effort to strangle the Tucker 48 in its crib. Suddenly, suppliers began to mysteriously back out of contracts. Negative press articles appeared, questioning the car's viability and Tucker's integrity. It was as if an invisible hand was slowly tightening its grip around the throat of the fledgling company. But the real hammer blow came from an unexpected quarter. The Securities and Exchange Commission, supposedly the watchdog of fair play in American business, launched a full-scale investigation into Tucker's fundraising practices. Was this a legitimate inquiry into potential wrongdoing, or a thinly veiled attempt to crush a dangerous competitor? As the investigation dragged on, Tucker found himself fighting a war on two fronts. On one side, he battled to keep his factory running and his dream alive. On the other, he faced the full might of the U.S. government, determined to prove he was nothing more than a fraud and a charlatan. The climax of this American tragedy played out in a Chicago courtroom in January 1950. The air was thick with tension as Preston Tucker and his associates stood trial, accused of mail fraud, violations of SEC regulations, and conspiracy to defraud. The prosecution painted a picture of elaborate con game, designed to separate honest Americans from their hard-earned money. But Tucker was no ordinary defendant. With the same charisma and conviction that had launched his automotive dream, he took the stand in his own defense. For days, he captivated the jury with his vision, his passion, and his unwavering belief in the Tucker 48. As the trial wore on, it became clear that this was more than just a case about alleged financial improprieties. It was a referendum on the American dream itself. In a stunning turn of events, the jury returned a verdict of not guilty on all counts. Preston Tucker had won his day in court, vindicating himself and his revolutionary car in the eyes of the law. But the victory was bittersweet. The damage had been done. The long investigation and trial had drained the company's resources and shattered public confidence. The dream of the Tucker 48 was effectively dead. In the end, only 51 Tucker 48s ever rolled off the assembly line. These rare automobiles, once the promise of a brighter automotive future, now sit in museums and private collections, silent testaments to what might have been. Each surviving Tucker is a priceless artifact, a tangible link to a moment in history when one man dared to reimagine the American road. But the story of Preston Tucker and his car of tomorrow does untend with the fall of his company. It lives on in the annals of American innovation, a cautionary tale and an inspiration in equal measure. Was Tucker a visionary genius, crushed by a system that feared change? Or was he simply a dreamer, reaching for stars too distant to grasp? The truth, as is often the case, likely lies somewhere in between. What's undeniable is the impact Tucker had on the automotive industry. Many of the safety features he championed eventually became standard, saving countless lives on America's highways. His emphasis on aerodynamics and fuel efficiency foreshadowed concerns that would dominate car design decades later. As we look back on the saga of the Tucker 48, we left to wonder how many other world-changing innovations have been stifled before they could reach their full potential. How many dreams have been deferred or destroyed by the entrenched powers that be? The legacy of Preston Tucker serves as both a warning and a call to action. It reminds us that progress is never guaranteed, that the road to innovation is often paved with setbacks and opposition. But it also shows us the power of a single idea, the impact that one person's vision can have on the world. In an age where technology is advancing at breakneck speed, where new startups challenge established industries on a daily basis, the story of the Tucker 48 feels more relevant than ever. It's a reminder that behind every sleek gadget and game-changing app, there's a Preston Tucker, someone willing to risk everything to bring their vision to life. So the next time you get behind the wheel of your car, take a moment to appreciate the safety features that surround you, the streamlined design that cuts through the air, and remember the man who, for a brief, shining moment, showed America a glimpse of the automotive future, a future that arrived too soon, but whose echoes we can still hear on the highways and byways of today. The Tucker 48 may be gone, but its spirit, the spirit of American innovation and the relentless pursuit of progress, lives on. It's a spirit that continues to drive us forward, always reaching for that next great idea, that next revolution just over the horizon. And who knows, maybe somewhere out there, the next Preston Tucker is tinkering in a garage, ready to change the world all over again.